How's it going, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Take a Wild Guess, the show where I tell you the story of an object, a place, a historical event, or a name, and you guess what I'm talking about. Today's episode is called Misplaced Decimals and Unfortunate Little Kids. Okay, quite a grim title, but it's a story of how the wrong placement of a decimal point in a number has caused millions of parents to force kids into something over the last century. Do you know what I'm talking about? If not, listen on. Maybe you will figure it out by the end of today's story. And even if you don't, you can always take a wild guess. So let's begin. Okay, today's story begins somewhere in the late 1800s in Europe. It starts with a German chemist named Dr. von Wolf. Okay, so one fine day, Dr. von Wolf was trying to determine the iron content in a certain food product. And for some reason, through his analysis, the value came out to be around 10 milligram of iron per cup of product. This was an unusually high amount, and so this product was declared to be very high in iron. However, later further studies were done and it was shown that the actual value was quite less. It was actually just a tenth of what was reported by Dr. von Wolf. Okay, now the reason why this value had such a huge discrepancy is actually disputed. Some say that it might have been due to contamination in the sample that Dr. von Wolf had analyzed earlier. Others say that in the paper that was published, the chemist didn't mention whether the sample was fresh or dried or cooked. And this is important because a cup of raw product contains around 1 milligram of iron, and a cup of cooked product, the same product, if it is cooked, it contains around 7 milligram of iron, because the amount of water in the cooked product is much less, right? So that's a big difference. Again, some say that it might just be because the analytical method or the equipment which was used by von Wolf in the late 1800s was not as sophisticated as the equipment that was used in the later studies. Well, whatever the case, the myth got propagated. It was only somewhere in 1937 that a person called Professor Schuppmann revisited von Wolf's findings and he pointed out the mistake. However, the product's legendary qualities had entered popular science by this time. So soon the product became known as a superfood. Now I must confess at this point that the product is quite healthy. It contains a lot of vitamin A, it contains a lot of fiber, and as we saw earlier, the cooked version of the product does contain a healthy amount of iron also. But like any other fad, it was severely oversold. Okay, sample this. In the First World War, they were giving soldiers wine fortified with this food so as to help them make stronger. However, the biggest role in promoting this myth was played by a fictional character. This character's impact on the overall public perception of how this product was seen by the general populace is so significant that Crystal City in Texas, which is considered to be the capital of the world, erected a statue in his honor in 1937. It was to, pay an homage to all that he has done for the industry. This guy was so popular that during the Great Depression, when almost every industry in the USA was suffering, sale of this product rose by 33%, which is like one third. It's incredible, right? For a short while, this product was ranked number 3 on the list of the most popular kids' foods, and it was third only behind ice cream and turkey. This fictional character was created by a man named E.C. Segar, and he was the protagonist of his story. All stories followed a similar theme, where in the first half of the story, some random stuff used to happen and the hero used to get into some kind of trouble, some kind of impossible situation, maybe a fight, maybe, stuck somewhere, whatever. And to get out of this situation, he used to eat this product. And it worked similar to the magic potion in Asterix and Obelix comics, where it instantly gave him a dramatic power up. Not only did the character suddenly become very strong, the product also miraculously made him an expert at things like dancing or playing the piano. Now, do you know which product this is? Even if you don't, take a wild guess. The product, of course, is spinach, and the character is Popeye the Sailor Man, who used to end all of his episodes with the song, Right to the finish, cause I eats my spinach and Popeye the Sailor Man toot toot. I hope this story can help someone who is being forced to eat spinach to avoid it in the future. You can listen to our podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and all other major podcast platforms. If you liked this episode, please subscribe and share it with your friends. If you have any comments, criticisms, or feedback, please write to me at tawgpodcast@gmail.com or message me on our Instagram handle. Till next time, I'm your host Chaitanya Ganu, and this is Take a Wild Guess. Thank you.